Hello, I'm Abbot Christopher Jamison, the Abbot of Worth in Sussex, and here I am in the Abbey Church. I'm the author of Finding Sanctuary, and I'm in the middle of being the author of Finding Happiness. Well, the idea for the monastery came from Tiger Aspect, the production company. They had the simple insight that monasteries were still interesting to people today, but how could we present monasteries in a fresh way? So they had the idea of putting some contemporary men into a monastery and seeing how they got on. We thought this was a potentially very creative idea because we have some experience of that through our retreat centre and through some of the programs we run here, inviting people to come and stay with us. So we thought, yes, this could really work. Finding Sanctuary came quite naturally as a result of the people who came here after the TV program, because they kept on asking us certain questions. And the most fascinating thing was that we had a little search engine on our monastery website, and you could type in a word, and the word that was frequently typed in was the word sanctuary. So we found ourselves talking to people about where do you find sanctuary in today's busy world. And so the book really flowed out of the discussions I had with the people who came to us. I think sanctuary is something people have always sought, but I think sanctuary nowadays is something people search with almost desperation in some cases. So there's a sharpness about the search for sanctuary nowadays, which I think is quite new. Happiness, on the other hand, of course, is perennial, where everybody's always in search of happiness, going back, to the ancient Greeks. But again, today, I think there's a particular difficulty with it. People do not agree about what happiness means. Not simply how do you find it, but they disagree about what it means. And in the book, I challenge the idea that we all agree about happiness, and I say there is such a thing as fake happiness, just like there's fool's gold, so there's fool's happiness. So what might the monastic tradition offer to help us discern true happiness from false happiness? There's a bit of a reluctance by most authors writing about happiness to define it, because of course you then have to make some moral choices. When I set out to write Finding Happiness, I was looking for a framework within which to express some of the monastic insights about happiness. And I've hit upon something called the 8 thoughts. Now, the 8 thoughts are the predecessors of the 7 deadly sins. And they are really insights about the negative movements of the human heart, the human soul, and also the human body. And it's aiming to show that if we will come to terms with what are called by the early monks our demons, then we'll find that we can be not unhappy. And I think that double negative is really important, because if we pursue happiness head on, it can be quite misleading. Whereas if we notice that these demons make us unhappy, then if we face those unhappy demons, we may find that happiness flows as a secondary effect of that. And that very phrase, the demons, is really interesting, because we still find, don't we, that celebrities, when they go into rehab, still have some press spokesman to hand saying, Britney is fighting her demons. And that expression, demons, comes from the early monks. And so the expression of the problem has remained in our culture, but the insights about how to handle the demons have disappeared. So what I want to bring back is some insights about how the monks handle the demons, because the monks were the first people to notice them. It's a question I've never been asked, are monks happy? And the answer I give to the question I've not been asked is no, monks are not happy. And the reason I say that is that the definition of happiness that is very prevalent nowadays is not one that monks would want to sign up to. And that's really the starting point for the book, is saying, look, maybe there are alternative definitions of happiness which are actually more achievable than some of the modern definitions. And if we get our goals sorted out, then maybe it will be possible to achieve these truer goals than pursuing endlessly false goals. I think people have got to be able to say that they have some spirituality and some concern about spirituality as the starting point for the book. What the book then aims to do is to show how some classic Christian monastic practices can inform that spirituality and help it to grow. So it's not dependent on religious faith, but the book is going to offer you insights from religious faith.